Yes, every 2 to 4 years, we are reminded that we have a southern border. And it is porous.
There's a migrant crime spree killing Americans, and the president's an accessory to murder.
We are being overwhelmed. There is no word to describe this except invasion.
Illegal invaders invading America, pouring over our border by the millions.
Criminals, rapists, murderers, child predators, and God knows who else.
God knows who else? I mean, statistically, a couple of them at least have to be podcasters. I mean, murderers. But point taken. I think my pants just shit their pants. And if you're thinking that these are just some Central American no-goodniks, think again.
The countries we know they're coming from: Iran, #1 state sponsor of terror, their satellite country Syria, Egypt, home of the Muslim Brotherhood, Afghanistan, home of Al-Qaeda, 10,000 plus from Russia.
Record numbers of Chinese men of military age who have come across our border.
The number of military-age men that are showing up with military haircuts, clearly in shape. They're saying these guys are showing up with six-packs and military boots.
They're clearly, tight asses. I mean, there's not an ounce of fat on these motherfuckers. I am so hard right. I want to go down to that goddamn border and I want to get ass deep on these immigrants. I want to suck and until I want to cash me outside. How about that? That's what I'm saying. Wow. So we got. The crowd loves my dirty Phil impression. We got criminals. We got terrorists. Is there anyone else down there we should be worried about?
Anybody ever hear of Hannibal Lecter? He was a nice fellow, but that's what's coming into our country right now.
Wouldn't cannibals amongst them be the solution to the problem? Or are they fasting until they get to America? Well, it's clear hyperbole, but there does seem to be bipartisan agreement now that the border is a problem. There were 300,000 crossings in December alone. That's an all-time high, and that is not sustainable. But Republicans turned down the chance to pass a strong border bill supported by the Border Patrol Union because of how confident they are that fearmongering will be an effective election year strategy. It's all about branding.
I call it migrant crime. I really call it Biden migrant crime, but it's too long. So let's just call it migrant crime, and everyone's going to know it's because of Biden. We will call it from now on Biden migrant crime, okay? It's migrant crime. We'll call it, I got it, migrant. Let's call it migrant. Biden crime. Oh, that's good. That's smart. Migrant crime.
It's a portmanteau. I'm not completely sold on migrant. It really just sounds like a migrant who's open to crossing either border. It's migrant crime. Migrant. Look, there are some undocumented migrants who are committing crimes, some of them horrific. But isn't that true for every demographic, including natives? I feel pretty confident there's still a lot of opportunity out there for our American homegrown criminals. But if it's enough of an issue that on Thursday we had ourselves a good old-fashioned border off as both men saddled up and headed to the southern border. Trump headed to Eagle Pass and Biden headed to Brownsville. It was bitch-ass Cassidy versus the sundown kid. And Biden was fired up.
We're the United States of America.
Nailed it. He knew exactly where we are. Yes. He knew what country we were in. Bang, boom. This is the United States of America. I take back everything I said a month ago. Lay out your proposal, sir.
I understand my predecessor's legal past today. So here's what I would say to Mr. Trump. Instead of playing politics with this issue, instead of telling members of Congress to block this legislation, join me, or I'll join you in telling the Congress to pass this bipartisan border security bill. We can do it together.
Ladies and gentlemen, the olive branch has been extended across the aisle in a show of genuine desire to solve this complex and vexing issue. Trump, your response.
Crooked Joe is the blood of countless innocent victims.
That's a no. Seriously, though, Crooked Joe? We still going with that?
Crooked Joe Biden, he's crooked. I took the name away from Hillary because she's no longer relevant, I guess.
Do you have to say everything that happens in your head out loud? It's been 8 years. You won. The woman's been through enough. Now you're going to take away her nickname now? What are you doing? But let me tell you something. Trump. I don't know why I got serious there. You can't scare the Democrats because the one thing that the Democrats have are principles. When it comes to immigration, the Democrats hold to our country's cherished ideals. The eternal promise etched at the feet of Lady Liberty that speaks to our better angels.
The only way we're going to have a great future in America is if we welcome and embrace immigrants.
These people are folks that we should be helping. America welcomes immigrants.
We want people to come here, despite where they came from or despite the circumstances that drove them to this country.
This is a place where the Statue of Liberty sits in the harbor, and we say, bring us your tide, those who are yearning to be free.
Unshakable, bedrock, American values of compassion and empathy, and there is not a damn thing that you can do to change that.
Buses arriving in New York City from Texas, one after another, filled with migrants seeking asylum.
That's all you got? Nice try, Texas, but you heard the mayor. We're New York City. How dare you? No disrespect. But you are never going to change our values because you're afraid. So keep sending those busloads because we got plenty of room in our hearts and in this city.
We have no more room in the city.
What about the yearnings and the tiredness? And the tiredness of those who are doing the yearning?
110,000 migrants. We have to feed, clothe, house, educate the children, wash their laundry sheets. This issue will destroy New York City. Destroy New York City.
I mean, they're supposed to be doing our sheets. What's going on around here? What kind of topsy-turvy world are we living in over here? Yes, it turns out in the age-old battle between values and fear, values never had a chance. It took 2 busloads of Venezuelans to go from this to this. So this is the terrible cycle America is caught in. Democrats, whose high-minded values and principles did not survive a contact high with reality, and Republicans whose desire to solve the problem isn't nearly as strong as their desire to exploit it. And no one wins. Well, except this guy.
Clearly in shape. He said these guys are showing up with 6-packs and military boots.
Learn more about it in his new special, Dr. Phil Straddles the Border.
In 2020, Trump only got 12% of the black vote. But this year, polls show that he could double that number. And now, there might be a way for him to win over black voters without actually having to meet any.
There are growing concerns about the way artificial intelligence could be used to mislead voters ahead of this year's US election. It's emerged that some supporters of the former President Donald Trump are creating and sharing fake images of him with black people to encourage African Americans to back him in November's election.
At first glance, this photo looks real. Only it's not. It was generated using AI technology.
The image was generated by Trump supporters using AI to target black voters. But this picture has been viewed more than 1 million times.
Wow, it took the most cutting-edge technology to get Trump to hang out with 6 black guys. This is outrageous. You're telling me I've been wasting my time building real friendships with black people, aka African Americans, when the whole time I could have just used AI and gotten the same number of likes? But seriously, I can't believe these photos would actually swing some votes. I mean, if we're going to be this easily manipulated by AI, let's just let AI vote for us instead. I mean, at this point, we need to be smarter. I mean, I'm not going to vote for Trump just because I saw a picture of him with a bunch of Asian guys. Although, I mean, they do look like they're having fun. I mean, I wonder what they're talking about. I mean, damn, maybe it does help a little. But still, I know people are worried about misinformation, but it's pretty easy to tell if a picture of Donald Trump is AI generated. Okay, here's the trick. If Donald Trump is in a picture and looks completely insane, then it's a real picture. Like, look at this picture. Trump hanging out with black guys. This is AI because it's too normal to be real. But now this photo of him with black people, this is weird. That's how you know it's real. Is that confusing? All right, okay, how about this one? Trump with black people having a good time at a party. This is a pretty normal human activity. Therefore, this is AI. But Kanye in the Oval Office shoving his phone into Trump's face? I mean, what the f*** is even happening here? This is too insane to be real, and that's how you know it's real. There's also other tells, like, check the skin tone. Does his face look like a normal human? Then it's probably AI. Does his face look like a dish sponge after a chili night? Then it's real. So that's the rule. Is he smiling in front of 3,000 hamburgers? Is he staring directly into a solar eclipse? Is he touching a glowing orb with Middle East dictators? Then it's real. I hope that clarifies things. Let's begin with the big news. Yesterday was Super Tuesday, the most important Tuesday of the year if you're a nerd. With 16 states and territories holding their primaries on the same day, it was the last chance for someone other than Donald Trump and Joe Biden to break through and change the dynamic of the race. Please, Buddha, don't let Biden and Trump dominate the vote. Please don't let them dominate the vote.
President Biden and former President Trump dominate the vote, sweeping nearly all their primaries and clearing the path for a November rematch.
No! The baby boomer death grip continues. Does anyone else have a chance to break through?
An NBC News election alert to report, and this is good news for Nikki Haley. NBC News can project that she has won the state of Vermont. It's her first victory of the night.
Yes, Vermont! Yeah! Nikki won the Subaru owner who makes their own honey voting block. You can build on that, Nikki Haley. 2024, baby.
Breaking news this morning, Nikki Haley dropping out of the 2024 presidential race, leaving Donald Trump the last man standing in the race.
No! Don't quit now, Nikki. You are only 80,000 delegates behind. If you drop out, who will little girls without any principles, convictions, or charisma look up to? Actually, you know what? Hang on. I need to talk to Nikki for a second. Nikki, I'm sorry. I have no idea why everyone, including myself, is being so mean to you. I was actually rooting for you because I know you were just trying to save your party and the world from Donald Trump, and all we ever did was shit on you because you're such a giant loser who sucks so bad. I'm sorry. I'm doing it again. I'm sorry. But anyway, please consider this a formal and sincere apology. We should have done a lot better, like you should have done in your own home state that you lost by 20 points like a loser. I'm sorry. I can't stop. But I swear to God, if you turn around and endorse Trump, I will totally be expecting that. So now it's officially Trump and Biden. They crushed the primaries like it was an audition for a Life Alert commercial. And you know what, America? I don't want to hear any more complaining, okay? Everyone's bitching about how much you don't want to be Trump and Biden, and then all you do is pick Trump and Biden, okay? You all say you hate them, but at least a couple million of you are lying. And now what? The primaries are just done now? Where were the twists? Where was the drama? I swear, if someone doesn't murder their fiancé on the Love is Blind finale tonight, I'm smashing my TV. Although, to be fair, there was a little bit of drama. Democrats did give Joe Biden some trouble yesterday.
In Minnesota, nearly 20% of Democrats voting uncommitted instead of voting for Biden. A significant protest vote fueled by concerns about his age and support over Israel.
Joe Biden lost American Samoa to a little-known candidate named Jason Palmer, 51 votes to 40.
Hell yeah, Jason Palmer! Look at him go! Oh, quick question though. Who the f*** is Jason Palmer? I've never seen this bloated Matt Damon in my life. Suddenly he wins American Samoa? I mean, this must be a fascinating guy with an interesting background. Tell me more.
Palmer's biography holds him up as a political outsider. He called himself an education and tech entrepreneur.
Okay, pass, hard pass. I don't need another generic white guy tech entrepreneur, okay? No thanks. I can't believe this is who Sid from Toy Story became. But as boring as this dude was, if you watch his campaign video, you'll see that he had one thing going for him: correct pronunciation.
Talofa lava. I'm Jason Palmer. American Samoa, I'm asking for your vote in the Democratic caucus on March 5th.
Yeah, American Samoa. I also can pronounce it correctly. Just like when I visited Chile and Barcelona, where I ate a croissant. That's how underrepresented Pacific Islanders are. If you can say that name correctly, you'll sweep the vote. But still, how could he be so popular in American Samoa when no one knows him here in the mainland?
You're probably wondering, who is this Jason Palmer? I've never heard of him before. Well, in the mainland, I'm actually very well known.
Wow, I actually respect that. This dude is going down there like, hey, I'm the most famous man in America. You guys don't have the internet, right? Here's what I think really happened. American Samoa got together and voted for this guy as a PR move because they need it. America doesn't give them citizenship or votes. Most Americans don't even know that American Samoa is part of America, even though it's in the name. So he just let this random guy win the primary, and all of a sudden we're talking about them. Now everyone's saying like, wait, this is a place that's part of America? It's not just a cookie? I mean, we should let this cookie vote. The CDC just issued new guidance saying that you don't even have to isolate if you get COVID anymore. That's right, you can go ahead and keep coughing into people's faces as long as you feel a little bad about it afterwards. It really feels like no one's trying to avoid COVID anymore. Well, almost no one.
A German man has puzzled scientists after he deliberately got more than 200 COVID-19 vaccinations. 217 to be exact, over 2.5 years. That's a shot every 4 days, roughly.
Of course, scientists are wondering what the effect was on him. First of all, he didn't report any vaccine-related side effects at all. Secondly, his immune response did show an increase in immune cells, but not necessarily a better or worse immune response. And finally, guys, he never got SARS-CoV-2, the virus that causes COVID.
Sorry, 217 shots, an approach also known as the immune system bukkake. If you laugh at that, you are disgusting. I mean, I know anti-vaxxers are stupid, but let's not overcorrect here, all right? I will say this, though. A lot of people did their own research. This man became his own research. That's commitment. And also a nice change of pace to see Germans doing human experiments on themselves. So, hey, I'm glad that he didn't suffer any major side effects. But sadly for this guy, doctors still haven't found a cure for being weird as But let's move on to the ongoing crisis in Gaza, where the United States is taking extreme measures to solve a tiny fraction of the problem.
The United States has conducted another airdrop of aid in the Gaza Strip. The mission delivered 36,000 meals in the north, but it's still far below the amount of aid needed for the around 300,000 Palestinians who remained in the northern strip after the Israeli invasion.
Airdrops are probably the least efficient and most expensive way to deliver aid, but it's a last resort, with Israel blocking critical supplies on the ground.
Yes, that's right. America managed to airdrop food around a blockade that Israel built with weapons America gave them. That's good, but wouldn't it be better if the United States just told Israel, just move out of the way. We gave you that. We're trying to help people. Get out of the way. Yeah. I don't know. It just seems a lot less efficient that Uber Eats drop food from 1,000 feet up or yelling, hey, don't forget to give us 5 stars. Or maybe, I don't know, America should just invent weapons that only fire food and send those to Israel. That way, when you go to use a tank, it just fires burritos. Efficient and delicious. But let's move on to some domestic news here in America. The TSA is testing out a new way to make airport security even more annoying.
This could be the future of airport security. At the TSA's Innovation Checkpoint at Las Vegas International, travelers are testing new self-service technology for the first time.
The idea is it's supposed to be like a regular TSA checkpoint, except fewer TSA agents and hopefully streamlined.
Do you have everything tucked inside your bin?
Yes. Here, passengers are greeted by a virtual agent.
If you have a question, it's really easy just to talk to the camera, get a very quick answer back.
Real agent, real person.
Right, who doesn't have to physically be in the checkpoint with you. They're still performing the function that we've asked them to perform, but in a different location.
What the is this shit? So it's a regular TSA line, but you added a Zoom meeting? So, hey, I said I don't have a bomb. I don't have a bomb. What? You're muted. I can't. Oh, wait, sorry, I'm muted. Okay. This isn't gonna work, guys, okay? Because we all know what it's like to work remotely. TSA is gonna be pretending to look for bombs, but they actually have porn open in another tab, right? And even if they do catch someone, what are they gonna do? Order us to tackle ourselves? Hey, I got a solution for you, TSA. It's a new form of technology called open another lane. Just open another lane. In fact, it doesn't even matter what TSA is doing, okay? Because the problem is the people. There's always a guy in line holding everyone up, trying to bring a full suit of armor through the X-ray machine. Oh, I'm sorry, is this metal? But look, none of this even really matters, because once you get through security, there's a good chance the door will fall off your plane anyway, okay? So. And finally, while the TSA is trying to reduce the number of security agents, the New York City subway is getting a shit ton more.
The controversial new plan to address crime on the subway.
1,000 members of the National Guard and state police will join forces with transit cops to conduct bag checks and patrol hundreds of subway stations.
The move by New York's governor follows a reported 45% spike in transit crimes in January.
The NYPD reminds people it is worth taking their long-standing advice on how to stay safe, watch your things, and at least lower the volume on those headsets that you wear or take them out entirely.
Oh, shut up, Mom. I'm definitely not lowering the volume on my music, okay? You think I want to be alone with my thoughts on public transport? I'd rather get stabbed. And look, I'm not saying crime isn't a problem in the New York subway, okay? A 45% spike in transit crimes in January alone is actually kind of impressive. I mean, New York criminals are the only ones keeping their New Year's resolutions. But getting the military to search bags for weapons isn't going to solve it, okay? Because New Yorkers can make a weapon out of anything. A bottle, a vape, a day-old bagel. It's prison rules down there, okay? Anything can be a shiv if you stab hard enough. Drawing up invasion plans for the C train just feels like you're playing off people's fears, all right? My mom lives in Singapore. She's already worried for me here. She thinks the New York subway is a fist fight to the death every day, when really it's only a fist fight to the death only once or twice a week.